How does chivalry work in a lesbian relationship?
I feel like it's its own thing. It doesn't follow straight rules.
Chivalry works in a lesbian relationship, like for somebody who decides to be the man in the relationship. So they will show their respect towards others, because men are supposed to show respect towards the female. So in lesbian relationships, the one who wears the pants in the relationship as a man will show chivalry.
I don't know! I'm so confused anymore!
Woman, you are making this way too complicated. The answer to the question is simple. Who is the chivalrous one in a lesbian relationship? Whoever picks up the check at the end of the date. And what happens if they split the check 50-50? Simple. Whoever wins best 2 out of 3 in rock, paper, scissor me timbers is the one who has to be chivalrous that night. Just be forewarned, whoever is the chivalrous one that night must also defend the homeland in the event that they find themselves invaded by the Saracen hordes, so you better hope that your lesbian lover is good with a broadsword that night.
So would you consider chivalry to be a female privilege?
No, actually. I think females can show chivalry to men.
Really?
Can you give me an example of how women will show chivalry to men?
Well, I would say holding the door for someone. I've held the door for my boyfriend many of times.
Oh wait, you're serious?
So that's what you're going with? Opening up the door for your boyfriend? I was expecting you to say that you provided your boyfriend safe passage to a monastery after he was attacked by a group of 300-pound purple-haired highway feminists. Opening the door for somebody isn't chivalry, it's common courtesy. And I'm willing to bet that your boyfriend opens the door for you more times than you've opened a door for him, and I'm willing to bet even further that you still hold a grudge to this day over the one time that he forgot to open said door for you. And if the bar for chivalry is set that low, I'm kind of thankful that chivalry is dead.
How much should a guy earn for you to date him?
Over 500k, close to $1 million. If he doesn't, I'm not gonna say yes. Do you hear me?
Lady, you're scaring us.
Honestly, I gotta hand it to this lady, gentlemen and gents. She's taken a more novel approach to her desperate attempt to find a man. Considering the price of meat is through the roof, she's probably thinking that she's worth her weight in pork on the open market. The only problem to that plan is that her viscous meat hole of unrelenting misery isn't even worth the value of an outdated pork chop, and this is a fact that even hobos know. I would tell her to go back to the drawing board, but I think we all know that drawing stick figures is a little bit out of her wheelhouse.
How much should the guy pay for the engagement ring?
He needs to pay again. 500. He gets paid every year. 500. He saves that towards the ring. If he doesn't, he's gonna get a no, and it's gonna be embarrassing.
See you later!
Intriguing plan. By grabbing the mic and screaming your man's intention like a pro wrestler before a pay-per-view match, you're clearly showing that you're a boss bae that don't need no man. But this does bring up a question. If you're expecting your man to save up an entire year's salary for an engagement ring, how do you expect him to pay your nightly $300 worth of dinners? Something tells me you didn't think this plan all the way through, but I am going to encourage you to take a step back and think of a new plan. Take your time. There's no rush. Nobody's waiting for you.
Great plan.
Thank you.
He likes your plan, Chief.
You said that you've been in open relationships since high school. All of your relationships
All of
have
my
been
relationships
open?
have been open, yeah.
Why?
Should be interesting.
Someone in my class that said that he was doing a polyamorous relationship, and I was like, what is that? And then he explained like, oh, so I'm dating like 2 people at the same time, and my partner is, or one of them is dating multiple people too, and that's just how it is. I'm like, well, that kind of makes sense.
Aren't you lying? No. In fact, aren't you a liar? No more questions, Your Honor.
Translation, she had a crush on Chad back in high school, but Chad was getting into all sorts of strange and didn't feel like having to commit to a woman whose brain activity is on par with your typical coma vegetable. So he convinced her that having an open relationship was a better way to go. That way he could bang as many chicks as he wanted, and she would later on have the opportunity to be on a first-name basis with her local box wine distributor. In Chad's mind, it was win-win.
Like, why would you have to? I've never heard that before. So it felt more like, oh yeah, I think that's me. It just makes a lot more sense than just being with one person, and especially like when you're very young.
That's why I praise the Lord for prostitutes.
Translation, my failed attempt to get Tyrone to commit to me has led me to a life of emotionless hookups with the inability to connect on a romantic level with any single person. And thanks to a life of mindless scrolling on social media, I have been brainwashed into thinking that a good man will be willing to settle down with me once I'm done having my fun. And though I have never suppressed my desire to want to start a family, my emotional damage and trust issues will prevent me from doing so. However, I'll still blame the patriarchy at the end of the day because I refuse to take any accountability for my actions.
I know it, your family knows it. Dogs know it.
Why would you miss out on other opportunities or like grow with other people than just, you know, that's how I saw it.
That is without a doubt the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh, cut the crap, woman. We know what you mean by opportunities. You're talking about wanting to bang as many guys as humanly possible because deep down you know you have nothing to offer anybody. And because you know you lack the qualities that high-value men desire, you want to find a simp who's willing to take care of your basic needs like food, shelter, and emotional punching bag while getting the physical needs taken care of by a man who's more your type. But by doing so, you've doomed yourself to the life of a junked-out car. You're rusted out, have too much mileage, and the only action you'll get will be from broke, horny teenagers. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. As always, if you find that my particular brand of comedy is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button and ring the notification bell so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.